Are you looking to save your marriage? There are 4 things you need to try before you throw in the towel. The first thing you need to try before you throw in the towel on your marriage is individual therapy. This kills me. So many people are ready to file for divorce and they haven't done the work themselves. How are you going to throw out your entire marriage if you haven't dug in and done what you can do to fix yourself? Here's the thing, marriage is hard. Divorce is hard. Choose your heart. It is going to hurt your kids. It is going to hurt you. It's going to hurt everybody in your entire life. You can't pull the trigger on a divorce until you know for sure. The second thing you can do to save your marriage is go to marriage counseling. Try it. My central tenet in the way that I do this work is you've got to be able to sleep at night. And for me, when I'm disrupting kids' lives, splitting up all my money and my stuff, and throwing out something I've invested years of my life on, I have to know for sure. For me, marriage counseling is kind of like a duh. Go to someone whose job it is to talk you through the marriage and see if something can come out of it. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a caution. If your marriage is like way over, marriage counseling can be used as a tool of manipulation. So I just kind of want to make that little caveat. But in general, it's worth a shot. It's certainly cheaper than paying lawyers. A third thing you can try to save your marriage is a couples retreat. There are more and more of these things out there where you get away as a couple and go with other couples with a guide, a guru, a whatever, who helps guide you through a framework and a mindset adjustment that very well might save your marriage. I don't know, it's worth a shot. Fourth thing you can do to save your marriage is adjust your expectations. And that's not the most popular thing to say, but are you being unrealistic? Are you expecting this person that you married to become a completely different person because you have different preferences now? Are you expecting this person to want and desire different things than they've desired or wanted since you've ever known them? Your expectations may need an adjustment. And I'm not saying settle. I do not believe you should stay in a marriage that is making you unhappy, that doesn't serve you anymore at all. And I think you need to take a long, hard look in the mirror and see whether your expectations of this other person you're with are the problem. Are you expecting this one relationship to solve all of the problems in your life? Plot ruiner, it's not going to. One person cannot do that for you. You can do that for you. You are responsible for your own life. It's up to you to become the person that you want to be and that somebody else would want to be married to. It may be that your expectations need an adjustment. So if you've tried everything and your marriage really isn't savable, I see you have 2 avenues in front of you. The first of which is you can separate and live separate lives and just go on about your business. Now, this is not the most advisable thing to do, but you can, and a surprising number of people do this. They don't want to go through the hassle of getting divorced. They don't want to deal with lawyers. They don't want to split up their stuff. They kind of negotiate this fuzzy truce and live that way for years, maybe even decades. It happens all the time. Now in Texas, we don't recognize legal separation. So it doesn't have the legal impact of like literally doing anything. You're married until the day you're divorced in Texas. So I really need to caution you, if you decide to live this separate lives thing, but still stay married, you're continuing to accrue community property throughout. So say 10 years later, you're still technically married, even if you've been living separate lives. Either of y'all's is both of y'all's now, right? All the money, stocks, businesses, whatever's happened during the marriage, even if you're not living together as a husband and wife, it's still community property and will have to be divided. So proceed with caution. Every once in a while, it is the right move, but usually it's the right move for the lesser moneyed spouse. The one with less money, they have less to lose, and maybe they're getting a sweeter, better deal in custody or in possession and access, or their bills getting paid. So I recently told somebody the other day is like, make no sudden moves. Do not try to get divorced. He's giving you a lot better deal than you're going to get at the courthouse, so stay put. It's kind of nuanced advice. You really will need to talk to a lawyer to see whether that's a good option for you at this time. All right, so let's say long-term legal separation is not going to work for you. If your marriage is unsavable and you need to move forward, you're probably going to need to go the formal divorce route in Texas. So you can file the stuff yourself. You can get on texaslawhelp.org and figure out how all the paperwork works. That's kind of option number one. You can do it yourself. You're going to have to figure out each of the steps, like how do you file the paperwork? Someone has to file for divorce. What are the terms going to be? Somebody has to decide what y'all are going to agree to. Then you're going to have to put it into a decree, get the court to accept that decree, get the court to sign off on that decree. That's the basic process if you're going to do it yourself, even in a pretty amicable situation. Your other option, if your marriage isn't savable, is to go forward with lawyers. Now, look, I am a lawyer, so this sounds self-serving. It's just the way it works, guys. Moving forward with a lawyer is the quickest, most efficient way for you to get divorced. Now, I didn't say it was the cheapest for sure, but sometimes it really actually ends up being that way. Going forward with a lawyer does not mean it has to be a knockdown, drag-out war. It doesn't have to be like that. Like at our firm, Hembree Bell Law, we help marriages end well. We can do it in such a way that honors kindness, that honors your future as a family. It doesn't have to be a bloodbath. Now, unfortunately, it only takes one person to make it a bloodbath. So you know your spouse, you know how that whole thing's going to go. But basically, you can move forward, say, hey, lawyer Hannah, I need to get divorced. Cool, that's what we do here. We can file the paperwork and move straight towards mediation. You don't have to have this big, long, drawn-out thing with tons of discovery. You can go straight to the end where you cut your deal. And you'll do that through the legal process. Now, people ask me all the time, can't I just go to mediation? I don't want to file for divorce. Here's the thing. Do not go to mediation without a lawyer representing you. Period, the end. Don't do it. Now, your ex factor, the person you're divorcing, let's let them go to mediation without a lawyer, fine. But you don't know what you don't know. And that's what a lawyer can help you do. Advise you on your options and what you're entitled to. Otherwise, how would you know? Because you Googled it? I mean, and Google can get you, honestly, a decently far down the path, but there are nuances that just truly there's no way you're going to know because it just isn't what you do for your job. Just like I don't know how to perform surgery. I'm not a surgeon, right? Like this is just the thing that we do. So you can go to mediation, but it happens within the context once you have a lawyer, at least on your side. You've got to have a lawyer so you can be well represented and make sure that you, your kids, and your money and your business are protected.